social media usage have become an indispensable part of our daily lives to the point that we no longer notice how much time we spend on it.
We've become so reliant on our devices that we no longer detach ourselves from it.
As a matter of fact, the excessive use of mobile phones and social media is now linked and compared to substance abuse.
According to studies, our brain releases neurochemicals similar to the ones released due to excessive substance use when we use our mobile phones, specifically social media, that eventually leads to addiction.
In this documentary, we are going to learn another side on human health and neuroscience.
We are also going to tackle about the effects of social media and technology in the brain and the reason why people get too addicted to it.
Every animal on this planet has a brain, but the human brain is unique and extraordinary. It performs several functions such as the following. It controls our body temperature, blood pressure, heart rate, and breathing. It also accepts information from our various senses. It handles our physical movement, and it also lets us dream, reason, and experience emotions.
The brain, the spinal cord, and the peripheral nerves make up a complex information processing and control system called the central nervous system. In tandem, it regulates all the unconscious and conscious state of our lives. The scientific study of the human brain and the nervous system is called the neuroscience or the neurobiology.
But even though our brain is so powerful on its own, it is still influenced and changed by various external activities like the use of internet and social media.
In fact, researchers from the University of California and the University of Illinois have conducted a research about cognitive offloading, which basically talks about how the internet is increasingly taking over the human memory.
In the experiment, participants were divided into two groups to answer challenging trivia questions. The first group purely used their own memory, while the second group used Google. After, the participants were then given the choice to answer subsequent easier questions by the method of their choice. As a result, it is revealed that participants who previously used the internet to gain information were more likely to revert to Google than those who relied on memory.
Participants also spent less time consulting their own memory before reaching for the internet. Remarkably, 30% of the participants who previously consulted the internet failed to even attempt to answer a single simple question from memory.
To give us further enlightenment about the topic, we have interviewed a professional that can really explain to us what cognitive offloading really is. Mr. Rizem Pellejo, a registered psychometrician and a University of Santo Tomas professor under the psychology department.
Okay, so first we have to define what cognitive offloading means, okay? But I'm going to try to explain it in a simpler way. For example, if you want to be more efficient, like, because we're going to search the internet, instead you're going to research about something that you don't know, or maybe try to remember something that you do know, right? So you are going to engage in technology. Okay. Say my stand is that it's in a long run or in a long term kind of way, it's kind of negative. Why? Because you are going to be reliant or dependent on that kind of behavior. Okay, so in neuropsychology or in neuroscience, right? So we have discussed, I think some of you already know this as well, right? Okay, so because of that, it's like a parang cause and effect. Ganun lang. You have, you do this thing and then the effect will be, there's more release of dopamine, you get happier, you get pleasure from it, so you want to engage in it more. That's why people are addicted to searching the internet, okay? What drives them, okay? So again, depending on the goal, okay, that they have. For example, pwede din naman na you want to seem smart with your friends. Hindi mo naman kailangan talagang i-search yun, but then, like, you want to belong or you want to seem smart. Again, it's very different for different people. What are its effects? Okay, so are we talking about long-term or short-term?
Long term.
Okay, sige. So, in a long-term kind of way, so cognitive offloading, as I said kanina, is more in a negative way. Why? You tend to shortcut. Parang hinak mo ang system. Okay? Kasi instead of going to ganito ka pa, titignan mo muna kung alam mo yung ganito, tapos pupunta ka sa next na step, parang yung ginawa mo, yan mo na lang, babypass mo na lang siya. Kasi internet na lang eh. Okay, implications. So again, parang katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, right? So parang, personally siguro the implication would be, sa part mo, there's satisfaction right now kasi nagagawa mo yung kailangan mong gawin na very efficient. So because of that, implication siguro technically in the psychological sense, you would maybe think to yourself, nandun ka sa point na may natutunan ba talaga ako? Human health. Okay, so again, kasi connected na yun lahat eh, right? So neuroscience, technically, everything can be explained, all kinds of behavior. Okay, in a neurological sense. Bakit? Kasi it's a part of your brain. Now, if we discussed here in cognitive offloading that it is actually quite unhealthy pala, alright, especially if you're thinking long-term, right, developing your brain, your metacognition, your higher level functioning, right, if you want to develop those things, right, in the long run, okay, using or engaging in cognitive offloading more, okay, is going to affect that, okay, that process of developing that. Other thoughts? I think we have to come to terms that this is a reality, okay, not just for students, okay, even for, I think, even old people also use cognitive offloading. So, siguro being aware na lang, let's just do things moderately, okay, all in temperance.
Cognitive offloading is just one of the effects that come with too much usage of the internet. It is to be noted that the use of the internet does not only affect our cognitive area but also our health as humans in particular.
Furthermore, excessive usage of social media has been proven to have short-term and long-term implications, such as stress, fatigue, eye problems, distractions, and many more. To further enlighten us with this topic, we interviewed Ms. Debbie Marie Vallis, a registered nurse with Masters in Clinical Psychology and is currently teaching in the senior high school program.
For me, social media is yung tinatawag nilang amoral, meaning it's not necessarily bad, but it's not necessarily good by itself. It's a good thing kasi mas madali na yung information dissemination. However, hindi rin natin maiwasan, especially nowadays, diba, yung nagkalat ng mga fake news. Number one, yung tinatawag natin ngayon, yung millennial term na FOMO, if you're familiar. So, yung FOMO kasi is the fear of missing out. So, yung fear of missing out, yun yung parang, to simplify, yun yung feeling na parang you feel anxious na pag di ka nag-online, baka may nami-miss out ka on something. Pwede kang maapektuhan nun. Okay? So, may mga tao, especially mga teenagers, yung mga bata, na hindi pa ganun sila kalakas when it comes to emotional quotient, yung pag-handle nila ng stress, mga negative comments, maaaring maapektuhan yung self-esteem nila and self-worth. And pwedeng dumating sa time na yung bata or teenager is pwede siyang ma-depress because of that. Kasi iniisip niya na yung mga comments na nakita niyo online is all true, di ba? Where in fact, hindi naman talaga yon yung sukatan, okay, ng self-worth mo bilang tao. So, yun, we should be mindful kung ano yung pinopost natin. May it be a joke or just a simple comments, diba? So, yun nga, lagi sinasabi na be kind kasi hindi natin alam kung ano yung battle na pinagdadaanan ng tao. So, scientifically speaking, may kinalaman yung brain natin and neurotransmitters, okay? So, doon, meron tayong tinatawag na dopamine, okay? So, yung neurotransmitter na to, dopamine has a lot of functions, pero pinaka marirelate natin when it comes to addiction is that dopamine is related to pleasure. Yung dopamine kasi, that is related to reward cycle and pleasure. So, ibig sabihin, it's a reward cycle kasi yung dopamine, parang it gives us a drive to seek for rewards. At yung rewards is halimbawa yung likes, yung shares, yung good comments na makukuha natin through social media. Parang it becomes a reward every time na may red doon sa notifications natin na, uy, may nag-like, uy, may comments, uy, pinansin nila yung comments ko. So, yung likes na yun, yung social currency nga natin, that becomes the reward. So, the more na nabibigyan tayo ng reward, the more na tumataas si dopamine, and the more na nabibigyan tayo ng pleasure. Diba? We feel good about ourselves. So, parang feeling natin, I feel loved, I feel, I belong, diba? Yung mga ganon. Okay, since nabanggit ko na kanina yung dopamine, okay, so I would like to, yung sa serotonin. Okay, yung serotonin naman, sikat siya for mood, okay, yung nafe-feel natin on an everyday basis. So, yung serotonin kasi, it has something to do with balancing of our mood, okay, and scientifically, kapag deficient ka dito sa serotonin, that can be attributed to depression. So, yung mga tao daw po na depressed is bumababa yung level ng kanilang serotonin, okay? So, kung i-relate naman natin siya sa social media, kung ang isang tao na mababa na sa serotonin, so at risk na siya for depression, and then the more siya na nakakakita ng mga negative about social media, so the more na pwede siyang ma-depress. Ang oxytocin naman, oxytocin is yung tinatawag nating love hormone. Kasi yung oxytocin, siya yung responsible for social bonding, social interaction. So ito yung tumataas every time na parang feeling natin we belong, diba, to a particular company, diba, yung to a particular group. Ganon din sa social media na parang if you feel loved, the more that you feel you belong, okay, the more na tumataas yung oxytocin. However, yun nga, kung negative naman yung nakikita mo sa social media and halimbawa, walang masyadong number of likes dun sa post mo, so parang mami-misinterpret mo siya na wala nagmamahal sa'yo. So, pwede rin makakapektuhan yung levels of oxytocin. Yun nga, social media can be a good thing, okay? Pero, it can also impose risk to us, especially to our mental health. Okay, so, you can use social media. There's nothing wrong with using social media. If you want to have Twitter or Instagram, Facebook, or Snapchat, kung naaaliw ka, diba? Okay lang naman yon. Kaya lang, yun nga, yung palagi ko sinasabi, you still need to ask yourself or assess yourself. Wag natin i-equate yung self-worth natin, yung halaga natin bilang tao, yung love na nakukuha natin sa number of likes na nakukuha natin sa social media. Kasi, again, social media is a different world.
To prevent further damage to our human health in general, that excessive mobile phone and social media use and great reliance to the internet brings, we believe that the solution is nothing but moderation and temperance. We can't deny the fact that mobile phones and the internet are now considered a necessity in today's digital era. So complete termination of these things is quite impossible. Hence, instead of removing it from our lives, we should just use this moderately and not let these things completely take over our lives.
To address the issue of excessive social media and mobile phone use, as students, we could start with ourselves by limiting the time spent on it. We could use this in moderately and also encourage the people around us to use this responsibly in moderation.
I believe that the capabilities of students to address these kinds of issues are not limited. Thus, as students, we must help each other to raise awareness and promote advocacies that are related to social media awareness, human health, and mental health. In this way, the negative impacts of social media to human health are lessened, and interpersonal relationships with each other are encouraged.
As students, we must know the importance of these social medias so that we can maximize them in their full potential without solely devoting on time of using them.
As a college student, I would like to start and raise awareness to the younger ones by discussing and showing them the effects of social media to the mental health and human health of the person to lessen their usage of the internet.